Today on the homestead, we're making laundry soap. So I have had quite the history of trying to eliminate chemicals and fragrances in our washroom, and so I have tried a lot of different homemade laundry detergents, different natural options, liquids, powders, sheets, all of the different things, and I keep coming back to this recipe, and I want to show you how to make it today. So we have tried to eliminate chemicals and fragrances because we've had a lot of sensitivities to them, and as we've phased them out in our house, they more and more will bother us, either respiratory or skin. And so we are using this, and we have kind of strayed away from this recipe for a while, and now I want to get back to it. So let's dive into the recipe. So we use some basic ingredients that I have here, and I've already prepared some of them for us. So the first thing that I start with is bar soap. And so I picked Dr. Bronner's most of the time. I've used Thieves bar soap. I've used Feld's Naphtha, though that's not the most natural option. But I usually opt for this, the unscented baby version. So I've already got that ready to go. And what I do is I take that bar soap and grate it finely. So I use my KitchenAid, the shredder attachment for that. You can grate it by hand, whatever is going to be easiest for you. So that's what I have here is my bar soap. So I'm going to add that to my KitchenAid. I always like to mix our soap in the KitchenAid because it's easier, and I feel like that's the most efficient, but you can certainly do it by hand. I would recommend a stainless steel or non-reactive type bowl. So the next thing that we use is washing soda. So I now buy the Arm & Hammer washing soda. It comes in these boxes. I have made my own in the past by drying out baking soda in the oven. I don't necessarily recommend that. It's just a long process and not necessarily the best results. So we have 4.5 cups of washing soda that I have here already measured out. So I'm going to add that to our mixing bowl as well. All right. So next is Epsom salt. So I buy Epsom salt in bulk. We use it for a lot of things here, and so I get unscented versions, and so that's what we have here, about 6 tablespoons of Epsom salt. So I'm going to add that to our mixture as well. All right, so that is our dry ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on low and start to get those mixed up and incorporated. So then we're going to add our liquids, and so the liquids include vinegar and peroxide. I also have modified this recipe over time by using Thieves fruit and veggie soak. So this is primarily intended for your fruits and veggies, and it's great for that to help wash them and eliminate chemicals and things that are on the produce. But it also has got great enzymes in it that I feel help with our laundry to take out all of the stains and the dirt and grime. So I mix that into our mixture as well. So I do about 3/4 cup of vinegar and the Thieves soak together. So probably about 1/2 cup of vinegar and 1/4 cup of this, but not super big deal, which is more, whatever is going to work best for you, or you could just use all white vinegar. Whatever you have on hand. We will include a link in the description if you want to get the Thieves veggie soak. I feel like that gives it just that little extra oomph. So we're going to get 3/4 cup of that. And so I'm going to start this mixing again, and then I'm going to add our liquids. So this, you will start to see a chemical reaction as those come in. So there's some foaming. I know it might be hard for you to see that, but we're starting to get some foaming between that washing soda and the vinegar and such. So then we use peroxide. So this, of course, is going to give some cleaning and bleaching powder. So about 1/2 cup of peroxide. So I just buy generic peroxide, and that is there. So then I add that into my mixture as well. So I'm going to keep that mixing. I want that to be incorporated really nicely. I also add essential oils to our laundry soap. You can pick and choose. If you want no scent at all, you don't have to. I like the freshness that this adds, but it also is not overpowering fragrance that we have problems with. So I do typically use lavender and purification blend for ours. Those are my favorite. I add about 25 drops of each here to my mixture. I don't really count. I just kind of dump them in. And the other thing I love about it is when you're making this, it will smell great through your whole house. So that's the added benefit too. And then it will help with your laundry as well. So we'll try to get a better look here, but we're starting to get kind of a foamy, pasty mixture here as all of those things are incorporated. So I'm going to start adding my oils. Now our purification. I wish we had smell-o-vision so you guys could smell this. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got that mix, and I'm going to just clean off our paddle attachment here and scrape down the sides and just do one last stir. And then what I do is I spread this out on cutting mats or some type of flat surface. You probably want some kind of layer down on your counter, and I let this dry. So I used to scoop this out in like two tablespoon portions. So I had little pods to add to my washer, but I felt that that ended up taking too much time. So now I opt for just spreading this out and letting it dry like that. And then it's just a little bit easier for me and quicker when I'm making it. So we will move over to the other counter and spread that out. All right, so I'm just gonna stick this on here and get as thin of a layer as you can. Again, I don't go too crazy about this. I'm not super worried about it. I just want it to start kind of drying out, and so we can break it into smaller portions. Again, if you want to scoop it out with like the little cookie dough scoops or a measuring spoon or something like that, that would certainly be fine as well. But I don't have time for that, and I don't want to mess with it, so this works well for me. And so once I get this spread out, we usually let it dry overnight, and we'll come back and show you the final product when it does dry out. So our laundry soap has dried overnight, and I'm going to start breaking this up. So it is not super solid. You can still break it up and get it into manageable pieces, and it kind of gets crumbly in that. So I store it in glass jars, but any kind of container would work. I like the glass better just because it's not reactive and I can see how much is left in there. So as I mentioned earlier, I used to scoop this out with a little cookie scoop and about 2 tablespoon pods, I guess, and that just took too long for me. And I always was needing different amounts for depending on the load, size, and how soiled the laundry was. And so I like this because I can kind of customize what I want when I need it. And so if I have a lot of little pieces, I will just throw those in together into the wash load. And I sometimes will have a scoop here that I can scoop things out, or I just grab a hunk as I need it. So you know, like something that size is probably about what I would use for a normal load, more if it's a larger load, or again, if it's really soiled. I've used this for all kinds of laundry, for baby clothes, for cloth diapers, for farm laundry, everything in between. I've added it to the wash basin directly, and I've used it in both front loading and top loading washers, and it's worked really well. We're really happy with this. Again, this is what I always go back to. It's the recipe that I can control what I want in it. I know all of the ingredients as opposed to things on the market available commercially that I don't necessarily know all of the details. You know, companies can hide chemicals and things as a trade secret. They can call it fragrance, and it could mean 100 different things that's in there. So I really like this. It's worked well for us. I often will make multiple batches at once so that I have it ready to go for a long time. I don't have to make it as frequently, and it's just great. So we have supplemented with borax on occasion if it's something that's really, really soiled and I really want to get it cleaned and you know, stain lifting and things like that. But this is our go-to. Hope you guys try it out and like it, and you can let us know what you think. Louder?
Like and subscribe!